Deadlocked version 3 is our main card today. It'll be the demon we'll be going after before going after anything else. It is definitely in my top 10 hardest. I don't know where within my top 10 hardest demons it would go. Probably towards the lower end, now that I take a closer look at my top 10 hardest. God damn, I've beaten some fucking hard levels now, huh? Damn. Looking closer at this, like, I was expecting it to be, like, top 5, but I look at my top 5, I'm like, this is not top 5. But it's probably, like, the 8th through 10th range. Most likely. I mean, I'm saying this before I attempt to beat it today. That could change. It is subject to change based on what my experience is like today. If I somehow fail to do it in a reasonable amount of time, because this level is something. So we'll get into it. Hello, peoples. I am JoeDan54. We're dashing today. And let me see here. Let me go back to the main menu. We'll swap the scene over. There we go. Just so you have something to look at. While I actually go through what my personal opinion is for my current top 10 hardest demons that I've beaten. Let me actually see if there's anything else I would put on here that I've beaten recently. I don't think so, no. Yeah, okay. So my top 10 hardest, I would say right now, number 10 is Ado by Zobros and Etzer. That level has some really, really hard UFO parts, and there's that one really awkward straight fly part they have to do with, like, the sideways portals. It's choke point heavy, and it gets harder as you get closer to the end of the level. And when I was playing it, it was bugged, so you had to do this really, really awkward timing in a part that's supposed to be auto right at the end, and I fluked it. So that was awesome. Number 9, Hyperdrivers by Laser Blitz. This is a very hard level that is very learny and duel heavy. It was pretty fun. It's just the main issue is that ending wave part was right after the boss fight. There's this wave part that has a little dual section in it that does this funky little thing where it plays with the gravity and makes them both the same gravity, and that there's like a there's like a portal transition in that part that just makes it an impossibly inconsistent choke point, and I fluked it from 0. So yeah, that was something. But yeah, number 8, I have El Dorado. I might be overrating El Dorado a little bit. It's by Anubis. It's pretty much entirely in slow mode, and it's very timing oriented. The more I think about it, the more I think I probably am overrating it. But it did give me a lot of trouble. And a lot of parts that I thought were going to be easy ended up being very hard, and the parts that I thought were very hard still ended up being hard. So, number 7, I have Dark Travel. This is the demon level I have dedicated the most full streams to thus far on my channel. I took, I think, 8 streams to beat this level. At the time, it was a second hardest. And it is, I believe, still the longest demon level I've ever beaten. It's like 6.5 minutes long. It's longer than any of the other travel levels I've beaten, which is Lonely Travel, Dem Travel, and I think that's it. Unless you count Dem Journey, which I've also beaten. The only one I've actually beaten on stream is Dark Travel, but the rest I have on recording. And a couple of them I have on YouTube, on my main channel. So it's Dark Travel is definitely easier if you're not going for the coins. If you're not going for the coins, it's probably not even my list worthy. Particularly the first... Well, actually, no, that's not true. The hardest part of the level isn't even related to the coins. It's that god-awful dual ship to dual wave transition right at the end of the duel part, right around, like, 62. that part is just absurd. I think it's probably easier at a higher refresh rate. I beat that level on 60 hertz, but yeah, pretty hard. Number 6, Acropolis by Zobros. This was my hardest demon for about 7.5 years, I believe. I beat it at the end of May in 2016, and my new hardest after that, which is still my hardest today, I beat at the end of 2023. So yeah, that's 7.5 years. I beat it. It was my hardest through about half-ish of 2.0 and almost all of 2.1. It's extremely timing-oriented. It is very first-half heavy, and then it has a super chokeable wave at the end. It's a classic. Number 5, another classic, Lit Fuse. This was the first level I beat on 240 hertz, and I kind of locked the fuck in and got really good at it really fast. 240 hertz skill boost has been crazy. This is not the only level harder than Acropolis I've beaten on 240 thus far. There is one other one. So, yeah. Number 4, Effort. I've also dedicated a lot of stream time to this because when 2.2 came out, I ended up like trying this level for a little bit at the end of a lot of my streams until I realized that that was not a good way to try and beat a level like this. So I came up with the Geometry Dash stream schedule that I still do to this day. So there's that. Effort was, I think it's also not as bad now. When I beat it, it was bugged so that there was this really awful transition right at the end of this one auto part where you're like sliding through this slope tunnel and then you go into a UFO part, and it was really awkward because if you did nothing, you would fly into the UFO portal and die. If you held, you would fly into the UFO portal and die. The only way to survive would be to hold, and then right before the portal release, and then you would be fine. And I also did this click pattern that probably is not the right way to do it, but it ended up being consistent for me. That required me to do alternating out this one part. And then there's this really awkward choke point in the super fast cube at the end. It's a very hard level. Number 3, I have 9 Circle X. This is the hardest level that I've beaten on 240 hertz. Also, Lit Fuse is by Carmal. Dark Travel is by Jonathan. Effort is by Alspectro. I mentioned Lit Fuse by Carmal. Acropolis by Zobros. 9 Circle X is Viperin, Zobros, and Rustum. This level just has really, really brutal wave gameplay. And some really, really annoying timings. And I famously fluked this level from 6%. It is the biggest fluke I have ever had in my entire GD career, and it's going to take a monumental effort to even come close to it, let alone top it. I can't believe this happened. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this level's ridiculously hard. Number 2, I have Luminum by Zobros. This level is just really, really fucking difficult the entire way through. Even with some cheese that happen, some cheese that you can do in this one ship part midway through the level, it's still really hard. And there's just a lot of ways that you wouldn't expect to die, but do. If you want to get better at robot timings, this is a good level to play, Luminum, if it's within your skill range. It definitely got me better at robot, which is going to be very helpful for the level we're playing today, Deadlock version 3. There's a lot of hard robot timings. Some arguably harder than some of the ones in Luminum. But yeah. And then my current hardest is Crimson Clutter by Red Universe. This level became my new hardest right before 2.2 came out. I beat it on 60 hertz. It has extremely hard wave sections. It's got these mirror portal transitions that, and the first of those is the hardest part of the level, where you have to do like 3 micro clicks in a row with like a double lack of visual indication because it's a mirror portal, and also you're going through a fake hitbox. It's really fucking rough. It's very first half heavy, but the first half is so heavy that it kind of overpowers the rest of the level. I've heard a lot of people say that Crimson Clutter, they would not be opposed to the idea of it being an extreme demon. I've also heard that about 9 Circle X, which is one of the reasons I've rated it so high on my list. Yeah, so that's my current hardest top 10. I would say Deadlock version 3 probably ranks somewhere in the top 10, somewhere around El Dorado, most likely. That's my current guesstimate. Let's start gaming now. We're going to open our daily chests, we're going to start the smack row, and then we're going to get dashing. I'm getting very, very close, by the way, to that 25,000 diamonds milestone. That's going to be a big one. Alright, let's get the smack row going. For those who don't know what the smack row is, you can type !smack row in the chat to learn all about it. And you won't have much more time to do that because we are definitely in the home stretch of the smack row. So there's gonna be streams in the future where I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, let's start the smack row, and then I stop myself. I'm like, oh, right, I don't have to do that anymore. But we're not quite at that era yet. Not quite at that era yet. Okay, so Deadlocked version 3. There are a lot of things I don't like about this level. Mainly just that the theme of this level is inconsistency. There's a lot of visual inconsistency with this level. There's a lot of things that just kind of move right in front of you. It's pretty awkward. Also, it commits what I think is a cardinal sin, and unfortunately was, how the fuck did I die there? Was very common in 2.0 when this level was made, which is layering invisible portals on top of visible portals. Like there. There is a visible wave portal there with an invisible gravity portal on top of it. I hate that shit. And it's everywhere in this level. We'd be here for hours if I pointed out every example of that. I've said it before, either all portals should be visible or none should be visible. You should not mix and match the two. The only time that's remotely excusable if it's like a mega collab, and even then it's a problem. But this isn't even a mega collab. It's just Noriega. Although one could argue it's a collaboration with Noriega and Satan. So, this level has been kicking my ass in practice mode. Particularly the last duel. The last quarter of this level is a lot harder than the entire first 3 quarters combined. Basically, every part in the last quarter of this level can just randomly kill you. This ship part is pretty cool. I really like the way the lasers shoot at the parts of the song where it goes. All the coins are pretty easy to get. Yeah, here we go. Oh god, yep. Again, if I broke down every single part that can randomly kill you in this duel, we'd be here for hours. How the fuck did I die there? I've done that click pattern dozens of times before and it has not killed me. I'm glad the level is coming in to prove my point. That it just randomly kills you at every single part out of nowhere. Yeah, you go up for the last coin there. But yeah, I was fucking... I was losing my mind learning this level. I am glad I did not learn this level on stream. That part is also just like... There are those, like, blue hitboxes there that just... Sometimes they pick an attempt where they kill you. And there's not really anything you can do about it, because they just do it at random. Again, Noriega way ahead of his time, implementing the random trigger in a 2.0 level. Yeah, pretty much every part in this... Oh, fuck, I missed the key. Pretty much every part in this level was like... I was fucking pulling my hair out learning it. Which works extra well as a joke, because I just got a haircut today. So I could be like, see? I was pulling my hair out! And most of the parts in this level have simmered down since then. Most parts in this level are manageable now. The last quarter is still not. The last quarter is still the Wild West. When it says ready, like, after that, good fucking luck, bro. How the fuck did I die there? Oh, awesome, okay. Yeah, like, parts other than that stupid-ass floating floor hitbox at the end of that Robot Cube duel were driving me crazy, too. But then I found consistent setups for almost everything. And yeah, the pre-drop is also pretty annoying. Everything before the first ship part. And it's also kind of interesting. This level has almost no wave. There's like three very, very short wave parts in the pre-drop. Okay, come on, man. There's 3 very, very short wave parts in the pre-drop, and then there's none for the rest of the level. So... wave-carried players beware. As someone whose top 3 hardest is 2 9 circles levels and a non-9 circles level created by the guy that made 9 circles. Today we're gonna try and beat the wave-carried allegations. Oh god, dying that way is so fucking annoying, man. In case you can't tell, I'm trying to do a run from here to the end before I play from 0. Bowser just won on the smack row. I used to be definitely worse at this last quarter, but it's still pretty rough. I have gotten other really good runs on this level, but... Oh, and I did, actually, now that I think about it, I did get a 0 to 100 run out of nowhere relatively recently. Might have been yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. I think it was the day before. Yeah, okay, let's play from 0. I expect to die quite a bit on this pre-drop. It's like the pre-drop and the last quarter are really rough. And then everything in between is pretty manageable, except for that one jump. Also, that ship part has really misleading hitboxes. And of course, now that we're playing from 0, the game is a PowerPoint. Look at my fucking frames, man. It detected that I'm playing from 0 and hit the lag switch. Connected runs, let's go. Really? Come on. That's a practice mode death right there. That's not the kind of place I want to be dying to from 0. I knew it. Yeah, that's not even a choke. That's just like, yeah, you die there. Dude, what the fuck is happening in my frames? Yeah, it might be time to look into GPU prices. Because I think at this point that is my bottleneck. For the record, it's fine when I don't stream. That can sometimes happen, too. I don't know why that can sometimes happen, because it's just... you jump 3 times there with the UFO. 1 to get good positioning, the other 2 so that the robot can also do jumps. There's literally no other way to do that part, but sometimes it kills you and sometimes it doesn't. So I just got unlucky there. There are some parts of that ending duel that are really just a slot machine. Are you fucking kidding me? Apparently that was too early. I knew I was dying there. But I thought I was gonna die from being too high. Somehow I ended up being too low. I don't know how the fuck that happened. Again, that's another part that's just completely random. The ship just randomly decides whether it wants to be high or low there at any point. You don't really have much control over it. Genuinely, at this point, the level really just starts at 75%. The first 75% is basically a cutscene. And, like, occasionally you'll just fail a QTE in the cutscene, and that's it. And then the actual gameplay starts at 75%, and it's all just slot machine gameplay. It's Deception Dive, but with duels. That's this level's balancing. That one was on me. That one was on me. I did not jump nearly as high as I should there. You want to take extra care to not jump high there, because if you do jump even remotely high, you die on the spot. But there is a double spike jump there, so you do at least have to give a tiny little bit of power to your jump there. Alright, see you guys at the next time I reach 75%. Okay, I don't know how the fuck I died there. How did I die there? Okay. Somehow that somehow the robot had, like, light speed jump there and hit the ceiling. I don't know how it did that. I've definitely clicked probably for more frames on other attempts and been totally fine. There's definitely some slot machine elements to other parts of the level, too. You just kind of have to deal with it. Also, I find it very funny how, like, you know, I'm going after this level. I've never beaten a level called Deadlocked version 2. We're skipping straight to 3. And there do exist Deadlocked version 2s, I just never beaten any of them. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea. I'm not ready. Fuck! Guarantee you the next time I get there, I'm gonna overcompensate for the fact that I've been jumping too high there with the robot, and we're gonna jump too low, and the robot is not gonna make the triple spike jump. That's what's gonna happen next time I get there. Mark my fucking words. So consistent at parts outside of 75% onward that even a bad frame rate isn't stopping me. Oh! I don't know how I died there, honestly. The robot just decided that it wasn't gonna go on the yellow orb. I definitely clicked. And the click registered. It's not like it was a void click. You saw the UFO jump. The robot just... And I held the orb. I held the click. So it should have counted as a buffer timing for the robot. But no, the robot just ate the input. I think that's just a bug. That's another way you can randomly die in this level. Is, apparently one game mode in the duel can sometimes eat your input and kill it for the other one. The fact that both of them turned into balls was kind of funny, though. can't wait for 2043, when featured Geometry Dash levels have an LLM built into them that tells you how you died each time in a level, and how to adjust your click pattern. Yep, that can sometimes happen too. That one's particularly infuriating because it's just like, there's really no way to tell what you did wrong there. I have no idea what causes deaths like that. Like, that part is so strict already with the timings you have to do with the robot jumps that it's pretty much impossible to test how deaths happen there. My god. Again, this level was made before playtesting was invented, so that's a big reason why it is the way it is. What? Okay, I guess that part's not symmetrical. One ball hit the slope before the other one, and so they did an asymmetrical dance and one of them died. Again, like, if playtesting was invented before this level was made, a playtester would have caught that and been like, hey, fix this shit. But since playtesting didn't exist back then, it's stuck. It's a feature. Same as that. Doing nothing wrong there, but sometimes I die there and sometimes I don't. The level's falling apart before our very eyes. I'm pretty much doing a completionist run on, like, every single place that can randomly kill you in this level. Okay. Add that to the list. Check that one off. I haven't died there yet. Again, I've held for that exact amount of frames before and been fine. But that attempt the level just decided to kill me. Nice thing about playing from zero is you naturally get quite consistent at the pre-drop. There's another death there. Completely out of my control. I have no idea what causes deaths there. I've looked into it. I've tried looking into it. To try and figure out, am I holding for too much there? Am I holding not enough there? Am I timing it too early? Am I timing it too late? It's just completely inconsistent. I can't get a straight answer on what I'm doing wrong there. So I assume I'm not doing anything wrong there. And if I am, it's completely beyond my control. It's just, I have to hope the level lets me pass that part. Now imagine that timing, but spread across 25% of the level, and you have the last 25% of the level. You might have seen that attempt and thought to yourself, oh, you just need to hold with the robot, and then you'll be fine. Nope. Nope. I've held with the robot before and still died there. So that wasn't the solution. That was just me getting lucky. Speaking of getting lucky, you see how close I was to that hitbox? Alright. We're almost done with the cutscene. And now for the gameplay. Did you see that lag spike? Oh my fucking god. Was that because of the Steam notification I just got? The stream doesn't pick that up. I think that was because of the Steam notification. My computer apparently can't handle that. I got a lag explosion right at the end of the level and died because of it. I was thinking to myself, you know, at some point I'm gonna die to this part and it's not gonna be my, it's not gonna be the level's fault. I wish granted, it wasn't the level's fault. It was still my computer's fault though. Well, that attempt just got thrown down the fucking shitter. I guess I need to disable those kinds of notifications before I play a Steam game, huh? On stream, at least. Okay. Haven't died there randomly yet, I don't think. So add that to the list. I think I'm still missing a few. And I think the level's keenly aware of that. So I'm sure we'll get some more random out-of-nowhere deaths as well. Spice things up, you know. Level's not done torturing me yet. Okay, that one was maybe on me. Jury's still out on that one. I feel like I've done that click pattern before and been fine. But I think that's also just the nature of the ship transitions in this level. Is they kind of blast you out like you're playing mini golf. And it's a different height every single time, and you have to adjust to that, which, by the way, is how the final transition in the level is. It goes into... it goes into a mini ship duel where you have to straight fly. And you have to do a micro click right before the mini ship duel where you have to straight fly. Otherwise, the mini ship duel becomes asymmetrical and it becomes physically impossible. There we go, okay. Another random death there. And then you straight fly, and the level fades to white. And you kind of just straight fly as it happens. It's fine. But then it transitions to, you know, the duel's over. It's just, the duel's over. the duel finishes, and it's just a regular ship that's no longer mini. Okay, and we die there again. Yeah, it's just a regular ship, but because it faded to white, the transition to that regular ship is completely blind. And while the blind transition is happening, the ship hits a bunch of boost pads that you can't see, and you have to adjust to that. It is a textbook mini-golf transition. Like that. Except that one, you can actually see, but that doesn't save you from how terrible it is. This level's so bad. Course. That part's just a mental block now. I can't get past that part. That part suddenly becomes silent. Also, this fucking transition is literally impossible now. What the fuck is happening? Again, the level's falling apart before my very eyes. This might be a one-level stream. Again, the fucking symmetry, the symmetry of that part broke apart because one ball hits the slope before the other, because this level wasn't play-tested. This level's so fucking terrible. I want nothing more than to be done with it. God, I've done that click pattern before and been fine. But it's a mini golf transition. This ship just exits that portal however it wants to every single fucking time. Fuck this level. Okay. I haven't randomly died there yet, I guess. We're seeping into the cube part now. Apparently that part's gonna be a problem now. I'm telling you, the level's got a checklist. Every part that I've practiced and become remotely consistent on needs to suddenly become a problem from zero. In addition to the parts that are impossible to get consistent at, aka the last 25%. I was gonna try and fit this stream in earlier in the day, before I went to get my haircut. I'm glad I didn't, because then I would have had extra pressure to get this level done. Which would have made things so much more awful. Again, sometimes you die there, sometimes you don't. I have no idea what causes deaths at that green orb. You just kind of have to hope the level lets you past. And that time I was unlucky. And, like, you know, I say this level was made before playtesting was invented, and that's true. But, like, you know, when Noriega was verifying this level, did he not die at that duel part and think to himself, this is shit, I should fix it? Not once? It's so bad that, like, not all of it can be explained through just, you know, update physics diff. 2.1 and 2.2 physics updates cannot be chiefly responsible for how bad this level's physics are. Or how bad this level's gameplay is. The physics are not the problem. Okay, I got another gigantic lag spike that killed me. I just got another. That didn't kill me. I think my computer might light on fire at any moment for some reason. Apparently Geometry Dash while streaming is too much for it. I've spent thousands of dollars on this PC, but it can't handle this. And now, because of Scam Altman, a single component will probably cost just as much. That was one of the parts that first started giving me trouble on that duel, was that green orb timing on the robot. I'm pretty sure that's like a frame perfect on every single frame rate. You have to hit that green orb on the last possible frame. I'm surprised I haven't died that way before on stream. Because that timing is absolutely brutal. There were practice sessions I've had with this level where I would just die to that timing over and over and over again. Okay, I don't think I've died that way before on stream, so the level can check that one off the list. Are there any percentages I haven't died at yet? Maybe the computer can assist and get some lag spikes in. So I know I'm not going to die at any parts like that. So it has to get ones in that aren't my fault. Well, Theory of Firepower couldn't have been my worst Geometry Dash stream experience for all of time, right? Something had to top it eventually. Fucking God. God! Okay, I don't think I've died that way yet on stream. I have randomly died there before. I have done that exact timing and been fine before as well. We're going back into practice mode. And we're gonna try and investigate that part again, apparently. Because I have died to that part way too fucking many times in a row. Yeah, I like, what even causes a death there? I don't get it. Why didn't I die there that time? That was the exact same timing I've done many times before. It genuinely is just ball. Ball and hope it doesn't kill you. Genuinely, what in the fuckingest of fucks am I doing wrong? Maybe spamming there is the play? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I have no idea what I'm doing differently. I'm learning nothing from this. I don't get it. I really don't. Like I said, I've investigated that before. I have no idea why I die there sometimes, and I get past sometimes. fuck. I'm gonna blame that one on the fact that my mind was occupied about being worried about the fact that my hand was itchy. Which I guess you could say was actually my fault. We finally got a death that was my fault. And required me to distract myself. But we did it, everybody. We got a death that was definitively my fault. And all it did was require me to throw. Is that going to be the meta now? Intentionally throw attempts just to try and get good mental? Be like, yes, that death was my fault. And then you forget how bad the level is, and then you might start playing better. I knew it. Yeah. Yep. That, unfortunately, is a real possibility. I am not 100% sure what causes deaths there. Basically, the robot hit a spike. I think it has to do with doing upward wave movements on the other side of that duel too early. And I definitely did a really sketchy first wave movement there that was, like, super early. So, I think that's what caused that, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I don't know if I can truly, legally classify that death as, quote, random. Fuck! I'm starting to understand why people will copy levels and make bug fixes for them. And in doing so, essentially nerf the level and say that they're bug fixing. Because there are just some parts in some rated levels that really are just a slot machine. Again, I have no fucking idea what causes that death! Or that one! Why? Why do I sometimes leave that wave portal and randomly fucking die? Is this the worst rated level in the entire fucking game? fuck. See, I told you I would overcompensate. I would overcompensate, and the robot would not make that fucking jump. I overcompensated, and now I let go too early instead of too late, and the robot didn't make the jump. I fucking told you. There's the blind transition. Worst level in the entire game done! Fuck you! Yeah, this is a fucking nightmare! Get me out! Get me out! I never want to see this level ever again in my entire fucking life! What's next? What torturous bullshit am I gonna go through next? Alright, whatever's next, it's called Demon World. I probably should have specified the creator's name for this level, because I feel like there are probably multiple demon levels named Demon World. Never mind, okay. That's a lot of dislikes. I think that's just from a bot. I don't think those are actual dislikes. Maybe we should do a practice run just to see how terrible this is. It's medium demon. Oh my god, there's a quad spike jump right at the start. You cannot buffer it. It's like, it's an easier quad spike jump because it's, you know, it's only 4 of them, but that's still pretty precise. Okay. I'm trying to remember if this is a former top 1 or not. I don't know. Maybe. Oops. That part's interesting, because it makes you realize how often you click early when you make a timing like that, and you have to stop yourself from doing that. Oh my god. Okay. Maybe that's less of an issue if you're not playing in practice mode, because, of course, this uses a main level song, which, by the way, means copyright claim up the ass, but also, it means there are objects in the level that aren't pulsing, because they don't pulse in practice mode, which is pretty annoying. Actually, now that I think about it, is there something in Mega Hack that would fix that? I'm sure someone's made like a geode or whatever that fixes that. It's classic pulse. Allows pulsing above 60 hertz. Okay. Just... No, not choose keybind. Where's the search bar? Ah, there it is. Pulse. Ah, no. It doesn't seem like there is a fix for it. Okay. I'm sure someone's made a mod for that. I just don't know where to get it. I don't know if I'm going to beat this level this stream. Probably not. I kind of just want to do a practice run of it. So I know what to mentally prepare for next time I go live for a demon grinding stream. Oh, God. Oh, man. Deadlocked version 3 was made before playtesting was invented. And then there are levels that were made before standards were invented. We as a society hadn't yet agreed upon the idea that doing blind shit like that was a bad idea. Oh, man. Rule of thumb, if you're gonna make a bad level, at least make it funny. Let me laugh at the sheer absurdity of your level. What the fuck do you do there? You can't go that way now. Okay. Strategy unavailable. Rewinding. Hold on. Oh. Okay, what do we do here? That's not gonna work. That's also not gonna work. Oh, right, you can just walk over it. Ooh. That's really weird. Oh, okay, hello, lag spike. How are you today? I do not want to keep holding there. You know, I was gonna consider doing this in combination with old levels. I guess technically we're doing that. I'm still gonna try and do some old levels next to... Okay. Next time. Jeez, these are some tricky ball timings. Gotta rely on some coyote time there. Man, you know, maybe a lot of those dislikes aren't from a bot. What are we doing here, man? Levels like this remove some of the mystery about why people stopped using mirror portals. Is this part physically impossible? No, you just have to do that. Okay. That. Do I have to jump there? I don't. Okay. Sick. Oh my god. Cycles buffed? Is that you? What's the name of the super buffed Cycles level that Vortrox made again? I just know he made was it just called Cycles X? I'm remembering a tweet from... Okay, well that's a stupid fucking death. I'm remembering a tweet from a while back when he was working on verifying that level. He uploaded a clip of him getting a new best, and somebody... Oh, nice. The level keeps going for, like, another 13% after the song stops. Somebody like, quoted the video saying, "Why do your clicks sound like GMD Blue?" and they kind of do, is the thing. Like, I could hear it. Ew, it's such a good tweet. Oh my god. That was a fucking gem. Okay, yeah, this is not a very good level, but that's just because it's got some weird shit going on, and there's a couple of awkward timings. This is no Deadlocked version 3. This is what we're gonna beat next time we do demon grinding, which is probably gonna be next week. So hopefully the night of the 30th, I can fit that in, and I won't be too sleepy to do that. So yeah. Whatever you do, don't play Deadlocked version 3. You'll hate yourself. That's the moral of the story. Alright. So, in any case, that'll be all I have for you for right now. Later tonight, I will be playing more Pokemon Moon. We're gonna be picking up on Pony Island. I might also be doing some backtracking to previous islands because there's a bunch of items that I can get now that I have beaten Nanu. So we'll do all that. I'll be streaming that tonight, in addition to tomorrow night. And then next time I stream will be, hopefully, Thursday the 30th. That night, and we will be doing old levels and demon grinding. And then at some point next month, I'm going to be taking a break from streaming. I usually do that in August. And then we'll come back at some point afterwards. Alright, that's all I have for you for now. Let's check on the smack row before I end. We are looking at 42,879. Very nice. Alright. Good fucking lord. Okay. Alright. Glad to be done with that. Alright. I will see you later for some Pokemon Moon. Keep looking forward, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.